Welcome to the Ambitious as Fuck podcast, where we have raw conversation about staying motivated and ambitious while facing real life challenges. Success doesn't just happen, you have to work hard, fall, and keep getting up regardless of the obstacles. If settling or giving up is not your style, stick around for this real ass conversation. My name is Priscilla, and I've always enjoyed helping and motivating others. While developing my own brand, I realized my passion for marketing and empowering others to keep pushing forward and manifesting their dreams. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to another episode of the Ambitious AF podcast. There has been a lot going on ever since I haven't recorded for the last couple months. I just realized it's been a couple months. So as you guys know, I've been going through a healing journey that I've been very open about. And so I want to share something that has happened, a couple of things that have happened within the last couple months. One of those was that I quit drinking for a few weeks. When I decided to quit drinking, it was kind of becoming a problem. My husband and I were having issues. And I knew at some point through this journey of healing that was going to have to be addressed at some point, because I was drinking. I'm not going to say that I was sitting here drinking every single day and getting fucked up every day, but I was drinking enough to the point where it was just not healthy for anyone. And my husband was not happy. Let's just put it that way to make it easy. But I share this with you because I know that there's many of us who, one of my issues was like, I've not known how to have fun without drinking, because I have always associated hanging out, having fun, going out with drinking. So I know that I'm not the only one that feels that way. So the week before my birthday, which was June 24th, is my birthday, I did an event with Diana. I actually hadn't done an event for a long time. Once everything was kind of done, we had a couple drinks. For some reason, 3 drinks that I drunk got me so fucking wasted, like to the point that I was throwing up. I blacked out. Like, it was really, really bad. So I told my husband, I was like, look, I know this is an issue and I'm just going to quit, because that's the only way to solve it. Because there's been times that I'm like, I can control it. I'm only going to have a few drinks, but those few drinks, when they get me that fucking wasted, obviously something else is wrong there. So that following week, I had another event and I worked by myself. It was my birthday. I didn't drink and I was okay. I was like, okay, it's a little different, but it's okay. And so what I focused on was meditating, of course, my affirmations. And then I started learning more about kind of the food. Someone posted something about how vegetables are not good for us. I'm not going to go there in this episode, because you guys are going to be like, what the fuck is she talking about? But anyway, it just made me curious to start reading more and learning more about the stuff that goes in my body, because I'm very conscious of the stuff that goes on my body. And more I've been reading and learning more about how badly we're being poisoned by corporations. But again, that's another conversation. So anyway, I've been learning more about what goes in my body. And then I'm realizing, holy shit, alcohol's like really, really bad. Like, we all know it's bad, but it's really bad. So that kind of helped me a little bit, like just change my mindset around it, so that I wasn't like feeling like I was missing anything. So that was really, really helpful. And so for a few weeks, I didn't drink at all and I was good. And then little by little, I was like, okay, I'm going to have a beer or 2. That's it. And that's how it's been. Because before, it's like sometimes I would have a drink and then it's like I just want to keep drinking, and then I want another one, and then I'm feeling fun, so then I want another one. And again, I know a lot of people relate to this, but now it's just like, you know what? I'll have a couple beers because people are drinking, because we're together, we're socializing, whatever. But that's about it. And I haven't really felt the need to like get wasted or anything like that. And that's been really cool, because one of the things I've noticed too since I stopped drinking. So for one, I've lost hella weight. I have lost 15 pounds in the last 2 months, and that's wild. And that's happened from not drinking, as much, right? Like very, very cut back on drinking. And also the food I've not been eating, which is processed foods. I do not eat any processed foods and no carbs whatsoever. It sounds a little crazy, but I feel better. And here's what I've noticed. When I drink, my joints hurt. I feel swelling in my joints, and I've always had issues with pain, like my lower back, and I get like repetitive motion syndrome on my arms and my hands. And sometimes my knees would hurt, stuff like that. And so I noticed that if I eat something, like let's say I cheated that weekend because we went to an event or whatever the heck, or I drank something alcohol-wise or too much sugar, I'm starting to notice it the next day. And I'm like, wow, that's incredible how really what we put in our body contributes to so many other things. So anyway, so that's part of that. So things have gotten so much better in that regard. And I'm just like really, really thankful. And I was talking to my coach because he was checking in on me. He was kind of busy for a while, but he kept checking in on me. He's like, how are you doing without drinking? You know, what are your triggers? And I was like, you know, I'm actually okay. Like for those 3 weeks I was fine. And now I'm like, I really don't feel the need. And he was like, well, that must be very empowering to know that you have control over it. I'm like, it really is. It really, really is. Like, and my husband's happier now and everything. I'm happier. Everyone's happier, and I've lost weight. But yeah, so that's been, you know, something that happened the last couple months. The other thing that has been happening is I've been meeting a lot of people who are in the like mental health space. And so whether they're coaches or psychiatrists or therapists or counselors, things like that, I've been meeting a lot of people in that area. And it's just been really nice because it's a reminder that no matter what stage you are in life, how old you are, how much money you have, what your status is, we all have stuff that we need to get through. We all have stuff that stifles us at one point or another. We all have things that we need to heal from. And I recently met a millionaire who was telling me how she almost lost it all because at some point she hit a block. She needed to heal from some stuff, and then she got on her path of healing, and now she's helping other women heal. But it's like, she's a millionaire. And you know, it's like no matter what amount of money you have, like there's always something. So I met someone else that pointed out something, that when we are the problem, or when we are part of the problem, it's hard to see the problem or fix the problem. So that was a really good point, because when I read the books that I've read about, you know, law of attraction and manifesting and whatnot, they all tell you to identify whatever mental blocks you have. This could be financial, relationship, anything, right? And for a while, I couldn't identify them. I was like, I don't know what blocks I have. And that makes so much sense when we're part of the problem. How are we supposed to fix the problem? So I guess maybe think about yourself and something that holds you back in some way or another, and then try to figure out where that comes from. So I know there's always something. So I don't know, I recommend that. And this is why I really love working with people who help other people, because if we are all here to help each other become better, just imagine what the future has for us if we all start healing. Because just 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, and in some cultures, it's still very taboo to talk about your mental health problems and things like that. So that's why I am sharing with you guys, so that, you know, hopefully maybe there's something that you get out of it and you didn't realize you needed. So I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep sharing, and, you know, hopefully we can all heal together and make this world better. So another thing that I wanted to talk about was something completely different. So this is kind of it's not about healing, but it's about like just fulfilling something that you really want to do. So back in 2011, when I was going through my divorce with my ex-husband, I lost my job. because I just like mentally I was burnt out. I couldn't deal with shit. I couldn't focus. I had 2 kids. I had to move out of the house we were renting. He was not helping me anymore. So I had to get like a job. I got a job. I was working at a construction office. But in the meantime, I was like, I really want to make some t-shirts. So backstory, when I was a kid, I used to draw clothes. I used to actually design paper doll clothes. Like, now I am talking legit fucking clothes, like not just like jeans and a shirt or just a little dress. Like, I would get my markers, my colored pencils, and my crayons and my pen. So I had the template. My paper doll was a template. You just trace around it, right? And the paper doll had tape, like full ass tape, so that I could just do a little roll on the clothes. And my favorite thing was to change her clothes all the time. So, but I would draw some legit fucking, I'm not playing with you. I was designing clothes when I was a little kid. I must have been like 7 or 8. And it was a thing because there was like a few of us in like elementary school that would bring our paper dolls to school and we would play. And so anyway, so there just a little background on me designing clothes, right? So I wanted to make shirts that were like kind of like empowering after a breakup, something that people would want to wear and feel empowered to wear. And so I went as far as like, I figured out like I needed a wholesaler's license. So I got my wholesaler's license. I was looking at printing, screen press, all that stuff. I was looking at how much were t-shirts. All the research, I was almost ready. But then I realized that I would really have to come up with money to stock all these clothes, all these shirts. And I was like, well, shit, I can't do that right now. I couldn't. I was like trying to make ends meet. And so I finally realized my dream. I am actually wearing one of my shirts right now. And I'm so excited because it's something that I was, I wanted to do way back when. The thought went away for a minute. But then last year I was like, you know what? I want to make shirts that make people feel empowered, because I'm all about ambitious as fuck and manifesting and law of attraction. So it's like, let's do it. So this is one of them. I have a few others. Let's see. I have this one, and then this one, and then I have a couple others. The other one says boss. I'm working on all of them. But one of the things that has held me back from even putting them out there is this. So if you don't know by now, I am huge on the environment and not polluting it and getting rid of plastic. My dream is that we ban plastic from this earth, and maybe only hospitals use it, or like seriously only industries that have to use it, right? It shouldn't be on every fucking thing that we use. That's a whole different episode. But anyway, so in order for me to put these out there and make them available, I want to make sure that they're made out of sustainable products. So polyester is a big time no-no. It pollutes our oceans just from doing our laundry. Again, that's a separate episode. But it had to be, so my shirts are cotton or bamboo. That was one condition. The other condition is I do not want them wrapped in plastic. So these were actually wrapped in brown, thick envelopes. So I was really excited about that. But now my only issue is that these are like really stiff cotton, and I love soft, stretchy cotton. So before I put them out there for you guys, that's what I'm working on. But just so you get an idea that I'm realizing a dream that I've had probably since I was a kid. And so don't give up on your dreams. You might have to put them aside for a while, but hey, you can always make them happen at some point. So I'm really excited about that. And I wanted to share that with you. I'm working currently, finally figuring out how to fix my website, because my web person like moved to Sweden or something and I haven't heard from her. So I was like, okay, time to fix my website on my own. So that's happening. The store will be up, but I'm still trying to find the right cotton, and the fact that it's like a drop ship type situation, because I do not want to stock inventory in my home. So I'm trying to figure out the shipping, because it took about 3 weeks or more to receive them, and I don't want you guys having to wait that long. So that's that. I don't know what else. Oh, so I addressed this a little bit in the last episode. My son moved out. He turned 18 June 22nd. And I was really sad. Of course, every mom's going to be sad when their kid moves out because it's a bittersweet situation, right? They're grown, they're going to start their own life, they don't need you anymore, but then they're still your baby, right? And so that was really hard, but I got really triggered the other day because I was talking to him, and when we were talking, he kind of expressed some things that reminded me too much of his dad and I when we were kids. Now, when his dad and I got together, I had just turned 15, and I was pretty much on my own because my mom, she had, we moved to the Bay Area from Southern California, and my mom had been like damn near imprisoned by my dad. So she was like, she could not even go to school without him giving her a hard time. And like, he never taught her how to, like, he never let her drive. Like, there's just a lot of shit, right? So it's just kind of sad that we tend to repeat cycles within our families. So when my mom moved here and my dad was no longer in the picture, my mom told me this the other day. I was so surprised. She was like, yeah, I was like a free bird out of a cage. And so she was going to school, she was going to work, and she was dating. So she was kind of never home. And when I told her that, she admitted it. I was like, holy shit, my mom's healing too. But and I never like faulted her for that. Growing up, I was never mad at her. But then of course, as you have your own children and stuff, I realized, oh shit, my mom, it was because my mom wasn't around that I did shit. And so anyway, my ex was very jealous all the time, like jealous. Like, he would kind of accuse me of stuff too. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? And it was just a really rough life with him. He had his own insecurities and just a lot of stuff. And so my son was kind of sharing some things that sounded too reminiscent of that. And that freaked me the fuck out. Oh my God. I've been depressed. Like, so not only did he move out, but then we have this conversation 2 weeks later, which was just last week. And I'm just freaking out because I was like, oh my God, I don't want him to go through what we went through. I hope they don't have any, like, he moved out with his girlfriend, and I'm just like so worried. And so for the last couple of weeks, I've just been really kind of, maybe not depressed, but I've been really down. And finally, yesterday or Monday, I was like, you know what? I can't sit here and cry and worry about what's going to happen. I can only be here for him. That's all I can do. And so I finally realized that I had to just stop worrying about him. And that's hard because that's your baby, that those are our kids. And no matter what, our kids are always our kids, and we always care. It's just so crazy how that works. But anyway, that's what's been going on here with me. And I guess for now, I'll just leave it here. Otherwise, I'm going to ramble. I am going to start having interviews back on the show now that Erin is a little bit more predictable and has more of a schedule. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to have probably a lot of these therapists and coaches that I've been talking to and meeting share stuff here on the show. And then I changed my handle. So I changed my handle on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm gonna be more active on TikTok. I haven't really tapped into it yet, but I'm working on that. But I changed my handle because I realized that by having the Ambitious AF copywriting, that was cool for SEO purposes for the copywriting, but that's not my only focus. My focus is really on like a lot of things. I have these shirts, I have clothing I want to put out there. I'm writing a book. I finally freaking started writing a book, and I'll share more about that later, but it's about my experience in the dental field, the behind the scenes tell all book. There's one other book right now available written by a dentist, which is not going to be as good. It's not going to compare at all to mine, because mine is like completely different perspective as an employee, as a dental consultant, working with the patients and working with these fucking crazy ass doctors. So I'm working on that. And there's a lot of other things that I'm working on. So I felt like I was limiting myself to just copywriting. So now Instagram and TikTok and everything that I'm sharing is going to be way open, talking about all the things that I care about, all the things I love, and all the things I want to share with you guys. So it's going to be like, besides just the copywriting, that's still part of it, but it's not just copywriting. So my new handle is ambitious AF with 2 underscores behind it because the other one was taken. So check me out on Instagram or TikTok and on YouTube. So if you like the show and you perhaps have suggestions or want me to talk about any particular topics, or if you know someone that should be interviewed on the show, please let me know. I would appreciate your positive remarks and comments on the podcast. If you enjoy the show, please share it with others. And I appreciate your support as always. And thank you so much for being here. So until next time, I'll see you soon. Take care. For more tips and motivation, check me out on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok at Ambitious AF.